Perfect. Thank you so much, Bailey. And thank you to everyone for taking time out of your day to be a part of this presentation and to be a part of the Ruby community. It is such a pleasure to get the ball rolling here. And just some quick additional information aside from what Bailey gave you on my personal intro. This particular webinar means a lot to me due to the many contributions from my partners and the partners of my fellow partner development manager here at Ruby. Our goal here is to provide small business owners with information from our partners who specialize within niche areas of digital marketing. So we're going to start off this presentation with some more general terms. Bear with me through it. I call it the appetizer of the presentation, and then we'll dig into what you're really here for, which is learning about these digital strategies and how you can implement them to grow your business. So right off the get-go, the topic of lead generation can incite excitement for some and dread in others because turning a website visitor into a buyer is an art and a science. And it all starts with getting their attention. That's what lead generation is. Lead generation is the process of attracting potential buyers and capturing their interest with the goal to use your various marketing channels and bring those leads to your business, incentivize them to share key information like their contact information with you. And I understand that for some, growth isn't the goal. But if you operate something like a lifestyle business that provides you with a fixed income, lead generation may seem more trouble than what it's worth. But when you consider that the average operation loses 15% of its customers each year, it's clear that bringing in more leads is essential to maintaining profits as it is for growing. And there are other reasons lead generation is important, but we'll get to those in a couple of slides. Before we get ahead of ourselves, we are going to start with some lead gen basics. Business leads are mysterious by nature. They are potential new customers or clients, that much is clear, but the rest is enigmatic. Who are they? Where do they come from? How can you attract them and then convert them into buyers? These are very important questions. But before we get to that main course that I mentioned, let's begin with the appetizer or the ever essential lead lingo. A lead is someone who, on behalf of themselves or their company, may one day purchase a product or service from your business. The middle step between a lead and a customer is a prospect, someone who's shown definite interest but hasn't fully committed to buying something yet. And a qualified lead has signaled their interest through direct conversation or interaction with you or someone on your team. Now, some businesses categorize leads by assigning them a temperature. Others imagine the capture process as a funnel. Both are mostly interchangeable and we'll use each throughout the presentation. As for which your business should use, that's dealer's choice. So we consider these as cold leads or your top of funnel. These are people who might have a need for your product or service, but haven't shown any interest yet. Then you have your warm leads, your middle of funnel. They are interested, but still need to be convinced. And then you have your hot leads or your bottom of funnel. And those people are ready or almost ready to buy. Now that we've got a name and a temperature assigned, let's figure out how we can turn the heat up on these leads. And that's just my clever way of saying how we can get those leads to convert depending on what stage they're in. And the truth is that there is no one size fits all approach to lead conversion. It's not going to work for one very important reason. Every lead has different needs. And not only that, but lead expectations will shift as they move further down the funnel or gain in temperature. Meeting and exceeding changed expectations requires a personalized approach that can be harder to master. Fortunately, of course, we came handy with a few tips for you. Earlier, we defined a lead as a person or an organization who might one day purchase a product or service from your business. And we left that term broad on purpose. Identifying, categorizing, and converting leads is far from an exact science. How you approach it, it's totally up to you. It's a matter of weighing your customer acquisition costs with your return on investment and taking initiative when it's financially viable. And let's consider someone who's almost ready to buy. How do we convert them into a customer? Countless businesses take demonstrating value for granted. The assumption being that the value of the product or the service is obvious, and they might struggle to articulate it in terms that resonate with leads. I mean, after all, the skill is providing those products and services, not necessarily selling them. So you want to consider what makes your solution valuable to different kinds of customers. And next, let's talk about the prospect who will still be on the fence. How can you pique their interest? Your goal should be to get them engaged. And there's no better way to do that than by asking them questions. And not to mention, that is what will allow you to learn more about them. And finally, we come to our cold lead. We don't know a lot about this person at all. We don't know what they're looking for, what their needs are, or even if they're interested in making a purchase. So, how in the heck then do we take them from a total stranger to a satisfied customer or client? By putting our best foot forward. Your business only gets one chance at a first impression. So it's important to gently guide communication and your unique value proposition through whichever channel you are using to interact with them. At this point, we've talked about the who, the what, and the why of lead generation. All that's left is to put an effective strategy in place that brings in more prospects and eventually customers to your business. And whether it's for growth or maintaining your bottom line, connecting with new customers is essential for your business. But lead generation isn't just about immediate wins, it also helps you to build brand visibility. It'll help you grow your social media following, connect with new partners, generate more reviews, and learn more about your ideal audience. For all of these reasons, setting and forgetting your lead generation strategy isn't viable if you are at all interested in the health of your business. You'll need the right strategies in hand before getting started. So let's dive into the main course, Proven Digital Marketing Strategies. Now, first is one of my personal favorites. It's content marketing. Content marketing could be something like blog posts, articles, videos, quizzes, ebooks, case studies. The list goes on and on. Basically, it is any marketing material your business puts out that you don't need to pay for people to see. If you're new to the marketing game, you might wonder why content marketing is king over something like advertising. After all, we've all had those catchy jingles stuck in our head and memorable commercials. That's worked for businesses for years, right? Well, content marketing has the power to help your business connect with prospects at little to no cost. But content marketing isn't just a more cost effective way to attract and engage more leads, it's also your key to building better connections with them. And that's because your content is wholly, completely, 100% yours to own. Your website and social channels are springboards for unique insights, one of a kind stories, helpful tips, all of which will serve to educate and empower your audience. Sharing your knowledge with the people you serve is one of the best ways to generate relational currency while guiding the conversation around your business. The question is, how do you begin to create high converting content? Number one, be bold. Your customers appreciate when you invest time and effort into your work. Content is no different, so take wise risks. Number two, be accessible. Authenticity is in short supply across most online channels. Instead of using stock imagery that people will just scroll past, add in a human element and include photos of your team or projects that you've been working on. Number three is find your niche. Play around with different formats and platforms to figure out what is working and what's not. There will be some failures along the way, but that will get you where you need to be. Once you've identified the areas where your content shines, it's not going to be long before people start to see you as the go-to resource to whatever it is that your business specializes in. Number four, inspire action. Instead of churning out massive amounts of lower quality content, take your time and provide your audience with interesting and actionable information that will leave a strong impression. Remember, the goal should always be for people to bookmark or ideally share your content. Number 5, be aware of your limits. There is no reason why you must publish a new blog post 3 times a week or have new social media posts go live every single day. Excellent content takes time to craft. So make sure you're setting aside enough time to prioritize quality over quantity. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this strategy of content marketing versus advertising. The main difference between the two is that your ads are paid media. You have to give someone money to place an ad somewhere, like a billboard or on top of a search engine result page, versus your content marketing. That's an organic strategy. It shows up in unpaid media channels like your blogs and search engine results underneath those ads. Now, email marketing. This one, although it is about 800 years old at this point, it is still an essential part of any marketing strategy. It's effective, easy to automate, entirely controlled by you, and gives you access to a lead's inbox. That's something almost everyone checks every single day. This strategy helps you to build relationships and trust with your audience. And when done correctly, will drive more new leads to convert into customers. But it requires a delicate touch. If done incorrectly, email marketing can hurt your business's brand and land you in spam filters. So let's talk about how to make that not happen. Step 1, capture email addresses. We are starting with the obvious here, but it is absolute. You can capture new leads emails on your website, at a conference, or on social media with an opt-in form. And on your form, you always want to ask for a name and an email address, plus any additional information you need off the top, like a lead's location or their interests. Once your lead has filled out that form, you need to email them to confirm they signed up. This confirmation email is called a double opt-in, and it's essential for a few reasons. Number 1 is trust. You ensure the prospect is in fact interested in receiving your emails. Number 2 is deliverability. Double opt-in minimizes the chances your emails get caught in spam filters or blocked altogether. Number 3 is a clean email list. You'll send emails to engaged leads who are most likely to purchase from you. Email for email's sake is pointless unless there's a chance for a conversion. Now, step 2, drive engagement. What types of emails should you send to leads? It's certainly not going to be a sales email now and again. Try sending emails that are known for creating an engaged audiences. These sorts of emails would be educational newsletters where you offer useful tips and tricks from your area of expertise. It could be process explanation. That's what it will look like going forward to work with you. Social proof, one of my favorites, is where you share testimonials and success stories from your customers. Industry news, this is an interesting one. What do you keep up on that those leads might also want to know? Feedback requests, what do they want to hear from you? Make them do the work. And customer challenges, encourage leads to complete a challenge like create a business plan in 2 weeks or wildfire proof your home in 7 days, whatever is most applicable for your business. Now, I assume many of us have a love-hate relationship with social media, and you're not alone because we do wish that we could spend less time scrolling and more time on productive, meaningful things. But it is, in fact, that dominance and accessibility of social media that will make it such a powerful tool for your small business. It doesn't mean you need to go all out and post a dozen times per day on every single platform. The key is to start by understanding who you are trying to reach and then select the social media platforms best suited to reach that target audience. So let's go through some considerations. Pick your social media platform based on your product or service. Do you have a physical product that lends itself best to photos? Or are you a service-based business? If you have a product-based business, you could choose a platform that favors image or video sharing like Instagram or TikTok. When considering B2C versus B2B, Knowing who your ideal buyer is will help inform which social networks are best suited for lead generation for your business. For B2C, try Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. For B2B, consider LinkedIn and Twitter. And beyond B2C or B2B, know your specific target audience or target personas. Who is your typical buyer? What do they look like? You can use your current customer list to determine these answers, and then you can search online for which demographics spend the most time on which social networks. Consider your resources. How much time can you dedicate to social media marketing? Are you skilled at writing, photography, video editing? If you're like, oh my gosh, no, don't worry, we'll touch on that. Once you decide on the medium based on your product or service, decide to either outsource content creation or pick a medium that you are skilled at creating content for. To convert your followers into leads, you'll need to provide them with two things: opportunities to give you their contact information and a compelling offer. And this starts with including strong call to actions, those are CTAs, in your posts that encourage followers to visit your website. Once there, they'll be asked to fill out a lead capture form in exchange for your offer. And you can set up these lead capture forms in places like your email newsletter, where you could provide an incentive for those people to give you their contact information. You could do downloadables like ebooks or white papers that can be, quote, gated behind a form. So that will require that information like your name and email address to gain access to that content. And of course, you can always do a digital event like a webinar that will require registration. And now we get to advertising. If you want to get in front of as many potential customers or clients, whatever works for you, as possible, consider investing in a PPC or pay per click campaign. Every day, nearly 1/3 of US consumers search for local businesses online. 1/3. As this shift online continues, it will be increasingly important for your business to have a strong digital presence. Do your keyword research. There's my dad joke for the day. Identifying relevant keywords is going to be the first step in improving your site's ranking, both organically and through paid efforts. Compile a list with quick brainstorming sessions and think about what are your potential customers typing into that search bar. Get the most out of your website. You'll want to ensure your website is optimized both for search traffic and engagement before spending money on a PPC campaign. After all, this is where all of those potential customers will end up once they click on your ad. So keep your site up to date. Make sure your contact information is displayed prominently, or better yet, use a live chat feature so visitors can actively engage the second that they get to your website. I like to think of your website as your digital forefront. You're investing money to get people to come into your business, to come to your website. How much more likely are they to convert if someone is there to answer those FAQs? Much, much more likely. In fact, Ruby has found 4 times more likely. Next, you want to optimize for local searches. The internet gives you the ability to target people across the world, but not all searchers are the same. Direct your efforts towards targeting people in your geographic area. Go back to your list of keywords and add localized phrases like best law firms near me or best local dentists. And don't forget about mobile, because 61% of smartphone users are more likely to contact a business if that business has a mobile friendly website. So search engines will also pay attention to this, and they've already begun to penalize websites that lack a mobile friendly user experience. Last but not least, identify your key performance indicators. Last, you just want to keep an eye on what's working and what isn't by continually checking your stats. Numbers like your bounce rate, your click-through rate, which could be abbreviated to CTR, and cost per lead, could be abbreviated to CPL, are great indicators of your campaign performance. Bear with me through these acronyms. We love acronyms in digital marketing. Now, the estimated number of web pages in Google Index is anywhere between 15 and 70 billion. That means your website, and by extension, your business, is a teensy tiny needle in a staggeringly large haystack. That's where search engine optimization, or SEO, comes into play. Like other tactics that we've covered, SEO is a huge topic and something deserving of its own presentation or a dozen. But today, I wanted to give you some practical, easy to implement tips. First, secure your digital business information by creating, claiming, and optimizing your online listings. Keep in mind that online listings can get as much, if not more, traffic than your website itself. So make sure they are accurate and consistent. Next, it's time to complete an audit of your website. You need to consider your website's content. Is it accurate and up to date? Are all of your links working and images appearing? Is there content that reflects all of your products and services? Is there anything like additional pages, videos, or even blogs that you're still planning on adding? Third, partner with a professional or agency who knows their stuff. It's important to thoroughly examine your options before deciding on an SEO partner. Never settle for that first vendor you find. It is always worthwhile to shop around with a few different vendors. And I've got 3 questions that you can utilize as you start targeting those groups. Number 1, how will you quantify success? A legitimate SEO agency should be able to set clear expectations of what key performance indicators they plan to report on in order to determine the success of your campaigns. Number 2, what tangible, ongoing deliverables will they provide? SEO requires on-site optimization of published content, but that's often not enough. Has the agency done their homework to develop a data-driven plan with specific strategic deliverables on a set schedule? Number 3, do they have experience or references in your business's vertical? Don't hire an agency without a proven track record. Ask potential SEO partners for references and about relevant projects they've worked on recently. Once you've selected that SEO vendor, they'll need some time to research your keywords, competition, and geographic area to prepare a comprehensive data-driven SEO strategy for you. They will then detail the scope of the work, budget, ongoing deliverables, content strategy, production schedule, and consider asking them about a reporting dashboard with integrated metrics that relate to your defined KPIs. And then once your SEO plan is in place and ready for deployment, be sure to set clear expectations for ongoing communication with that partner. Will you be holding meetings weekly, monthly, or on a quarterly basis? When it comes time to review your progress reports and deliverables, be sure to ask plenty of questions to ensure that you fully understand what's being presented to you, because your SEO partner should be happy to walk you through those reports at a pace that's comfortable for you as well. Digital marketing will enable you to generate more leads in many ways, including driving traffic to expert content on your website, blog, social media pages, and more, as we covered in the previous slides. Online lead generation refers to a wide range of tactics and campaigns and strategies, whether they are paid or organic. Regardless of your business or industry, it's necessary to use the right lead generation tools to keep your user's journey at the forefront of your mind. So let's go over some examples. I just pulled up 3 industries that I know we hope to have join today. Within the legal industry, efficient lead generation and management for law firms is critical, given that there's intense competition in this industry, and it can result in a high cost per lead. So it will be essential to leverage a diversified strategy that markets your message across multiple channels and take advantage of those with less expensive costs. Using this conversion approach can decrease your average cost per lead and result in a much greater lead quality. This strategy effectively gains higher quality leads because it includes several educational touch points to help qualify the lead. The targeted ads, the landing page, and the contact form submission are all steps that require the customer to move through that journey. When converting and managing leads in home services, Some of the best lead conversion tactics are forms of content marketing like instructional videos, blog posts, and ebooks written with the homeowner in mind. For example, publishing videos educating customers on how to take care of their homes provides long term value for your audience while increasing your authority as a trusted expert. You can then promote these videos using Facebook's marketing campaign, driving users to your website to learn more. And as the healthcare industry shifts to meet modern patients online, there are a lot of trends that can go a long way in generating quality leads, like Facebook promotions, Instagram posts, and leveraging website highlights. And with that, congratulations, you've learned the fundamentals of lead generation. Put these strategies into action, and before long, you'll start to get more calls and website visitors. We'll dive deeper into these strategies, among others, in the Lead Gen Playbook. Again, we will be sharing that to our community page later today for anyone who's interested in checking out the other information we gathered from our partners. And lastly, don't forget to consider those callers and visitors who don't become buyers automatically. You need to respond to and qualify, nurture, and convert them. And that means reaching out to them when they're the most receptive, learning who they are and what they are looking for, earning their trust, and getting them to be eager to make that purchase.